Greetings, universe. Welcome in, Ali. Welcome in, everyone. Unfortunately, chat still doesn't work for me, but I can see your messages regardless. So we will find a way to make this work. Just gonna ask first, can you hear me okay? In comparison to the music? Ali says that he is on vacation, but only 6 days left. Ali says, my school day starts on September 1st, and if you're confused with Russian system of education. Oh yeah, I remember that you're from Kazakhstan. I remember. And yeah, I mean, at least I hope you had some good time during your vacation from school, and that you will be prepared to go back to studying and have good grades. I definitely encourage that. So, I will appreciate some feedback about how my voice sounds in comparison to the music, if it sounds okay. If it sounds alright. Alright. What are we doing today? Today we continue figuring out how the bunnies will behave inside the game. That's what we are doing today. So, shall we get to it? Shall we? I think yes. Let's go. Okay. So this is our documentation project for the game. And I messed up the branches a little bit. Forget. PowerShell. Go away. There we go. Now that's better. Okay, so this is a little bit messy. As you can see, some of the arrows are completely duplicated. I'll have to figure out which, and then just remove what's unnecessary. So I suppose we can start with this. This one appears once. I'm going to go through all of those and see how many times they appear. This one surely appears more than once. Probably all of those as well. Yep. So we will remove one of them. Let's see where the other one is. Yeah, we will remove this one. This should remove some of the arrows all over. There we go. Removed some of them. Ali says, Also, our country made a history that they have won gold judo in Paris Olympics. His name is Yildiz Smitov. Oh, that's incredible! Congratulations! Congratulations! Very cool, very cool. Good job, good job. Good job with the Olympics. This is awesome. Let's see if this one is also duplicated twice. Ah, not quite. Probably this bird is not, but these two are. Yeah. Did Kazakhstan win any other medals, I wonder? Not necessarily gold, I mean all kinds, all kinds. I think we also need some representation in the Olympics from space. That would be funny if there's something that happened. I'm just gonna say again that I am definitely able to read your guys' messages. It's just that they cannot be shown on screen, unfortunately. Let's see if this is twice. Yes. Me? Probably we have this one as well, but for 75. Yep, here it is. And for this one, go to fruit. This is a little bit messy here. I will look later. This one sounds like it has to be twice. You will remove this completely and then update this one to 50. I believe this one would be better. Would be more correct. Okay, let's continue removing things that are duplicated. So, stuff about love increased. Love increased. This one is duplicated. Surely. Remove this one then. I wonder if this one is duplicated. Oh yes, it is. So we will remove this one as well. Let's see about this. Yep. I'm doing my best to fix up the branch. I did not create a YouTube notification actually for the stream. Here we go. Now I did. I wonder if I removed everything that is duplicated. Let's see. Looks like yes. Now I will have to check if all of the actions we have here make sense. Also, I will need to add those stakes. Available return in reviews. This one is false. We're supposed to have another one which is true. I wonder where is the one that has a false value? Oh, that's the one. It's right here. Available return reviews. We need to have one that is with a true value, which is this one. Yeah, and I see that it does not have this type of state. Let's add. Should be purple. No, we will need to do this for the rest of the states here. Yellow, round and radius. 1, 2, and 3. One, 2, 3. Hold up. Okay. Should be good. Yeah. Now the starting point makes slightly more sense. Now we will need to check all of our states to see if they make sense. I suppose you can barely see what it says here, so I will zoom in. Okay, so these are our requirements for reproducing. Which arrow is this? So far away. Oh, flight under 75. Alright. Now, we will take a look at the next action. Okay, these all make sense. Now about this one. Not sure about it. This has to be an action initiated by the player. We'll have to remove some states. I would say everything related to this one should be scrapped. Moving all of these. Oh, hello, Dark Engine. Welcome in. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you? Currently, something is a little bit wrong with my chat, so it doesn't appear on screen, but I still see your messages elsewhere. Yeah, pretty much you're correct. I am defining how our AI bunnies in the game will react to all sorts of interactions and needs. So this is what we're doing at the moment. Dark Engine says the syntax is admittedly very foreign to me. I mostly worked in C++ and C for API headers. Occasionally Python for our build system, but I hate Python so much. Oh, so you are a low-level language type of person. So, honestly, what you see here is purely for documentation. This is not even code. This is not code. This is just a way to create these diagrams more easily, so it will be easier to create and read. So this is really just for documentation. Oh, so wait, you're creating game engines? That's what you work? That's like your job? I mean, to ask, is your job is to create engines? Like, are you working on games, or are you only working on the engine? Dark engine says, not game engines in my case. That would be so cool. I used to be one of those, but we're talking 90s. I now work on VFX engines for simulating effects for films, TVs, sometimes games with just pre-rendered cutscenes. Ah, that's really cool as well, I think. Oh. Wait, so what kind of libraries do you use? VFX engines, how interesting. It's like you're working on shaders, but the way that shaders are actually made. Wait, do you write code to the GPU? What how does that work? I'm curious. That's so interesting. And so different from what I'm doing. I'm doing really high level stuff. I mean, making games is very high level. I'm kind of curious, how do you guys create your own documentation for your project for the engine, the VFX engine? I mean, there are so many things that have to be defined prior to beginning actually writing code, just to be sure that everyone is on the same page and that everything makes sense based on the requirements. So I wonder, how do you guys handle that? Dark Engine says, I'm actually not working in GPU at all. I have colleagues who do that and are experts in it. The nature of our software often wants to allow people to write scripts and plugins for our software. It is usually too harsh a requirement to require third parties to write in HSL or GLSL, for example. So I focus on CPU. Oh, I see. What's your engine called? Like, what's the name of your engine that you're working on? And where is it used at the moment? That's really cool. Dark Engine says, I have joke name of Dark Engine because our first prototype rendered images way too dark. Hehehe. I am no longer at the same company now. I'm working on plugins for Autodesk. Ooh. But I used to be a programmer for a software called Lightwave back in the day when it was popular. Ooh, I'm not familiar with Lightwave, but Autodesk, yes, for sure. This is a huge company. I guess it's pretty cool to work on stuff for them and to know that it's used by thousands of people, like your own creation. That must be cool. I'm gonna check some definitions I have elsewhere. I need to be sure I have them. Oh, I don't have a definition for what I was aiming for. So I'll go back to this then. Kenjin says I'm so old now, in my 40s. I'm trying to recapture my former glory. But I worked on Avatar back in the day. Oh, the movie? Just as one of the engineers developing ways to produce effects for that film. That is my biggest and proudest script. Yeah, this is like... the most grossing film ever, if I'm right. Yeah, that's so cool. You can actually get to say that you've worked on such a feature film. That's incredible. That's so cool. Have you ever tried maybe going into game development? I mean, I know this is high-level code, but if you will do it on Unreal Engine, then you will definitely be able to use C++. Hello, Ali. Welcome back. I am currently defining creatures' behaviors for the bunnies. Dark Engine says I was originally a game dev back in the day. I just wanted to design games a boy back in the 80s. I got into it artistically. I had a weird hobby where I sketched ideas for how I thought a game would be so cool. Kind of like those instruction manuals, but I had no idea how games were actually made. Well. If this is something you will want to go back to, then there are so many resources online for that. Often people do have ideas for games, and it's awesome how accessible this has become these days. Ali, let me show you what the bunnies look like, because I created some kind of animation for them. So let me show you. Here you go. This is what their animation looks like for now. Dark Engine says, then after filling an entire bookshelf with my designs, my parents noticed my weird obsession and they bought me a computer and books on programming. Then I got obsessed with it that I ended up becoming a programmer. But actually I just wanted to make a cool game. Wow, I think you have worked on really interesting projects. And right now as well. Thank you for liking my animation for the bunnies. We will have to create many more animations for them. But that will happen very soon. But not today. I just wanted to show you what they look like so far. Now back to the commentation. Dark Engine, do you get to write the commentation for stuff, I wonder? Because you're like a pro, so you must have worked on multiple stuff, including maybe writing documentation. Maybe. I'm curious. Do we have X8 elsewhere? No, we don't. I wonder what X8 stands for. Oh, I see. Okay. It's about playing. Okay, so this would be 10. Maybe this would be 10? Yes, it will be 10. X10. Dark Engine says, if you couldn't tell already, I'm extremely long-winded. I love to write documentation. It is embarrassing, but my company has wiki for technical documentation, and we have 10 programmers, but I wrote 85% of the wiki articles there. Oh, okay, to be honest, on my team, I'm the only one who writes the documentation, like, so there's that. How do you write the documentation for the wiki? I'm using PlanTML and I'm curious, what are you using? Ali says, am I the only one on mobile? It feels lonely here. Well, you're the only one on YouTube. We also have Dark Engine on Twitch. But unfortunately, just chat on screen just doesn't work for me at the moment. I'm so sorry. I will try to fix this, but I don't know when will I have time for that. Dark Engine says, I got my syntax highlighting set for green with comments. If I write too much code with too little green, I fix it. Ah, so you write your comments inside the code? Dark Engine says, I use so many pictures. I like to communicate things visually. I use Smart Draw a lot to draw graphs. Smart Draw, is it like Draw.io? I wonder. Let me take a look what's Smart Draw. Smart Draw. Let's see what it is. I guess it's like Draw.io. Oh yeah, it's very similar to Draw.io, I think. However, I just really hate those apps. I really prefer to just write those weird scripts with the word syntax and have everything drawn for me. I really prefer that. Ali says, and the first one coming here even with crappy 16 megabit per sec Wi-Fi. Ali, thank you for joining, even though your internet is a little bit hard to handle. We appreciate that, thank you. Your internet is barbecued. What happened to it? Need to create a log increased. Extend. I don't exist, right? Need to make it. Let's make it. Dark Engine says, if you ever get bored and Google efficient quad tree, I would like 7 stock overflow answers spanning over 32k characters each on the topic, complete with so many visual diagrams. Is how I like to document and communicate, but I get TLDR a lot. People don't appreciate your documentation. What a shame. What a shame. That's not cool. If you would like, you can join the Discord server of ours and you can share there one of your answers. I would like to appreciate your work. In case you want to share. You don't have to, just if you want to. We have like a programming channel there where we talk about programming stuff. So you can take a look and share your documentation there. Ali, please don't worry about donations. Please don't worry about it. It's really nice. I appreciate that you want to support me and what I'm doing. But if you don't have an income, please worry about yourself first. And please don't worry about it. Okay. What's next? G-Love. This is a goal. And we need to create another goal for it. It will be 10. Ali, even more so. Please don't worry about giving, I don't know, donations, okay? Please don't worry about it. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Actually, they need to be either a player or anyone else has to be in a radius. We need to add those additional states for the action to be performed. Dark Engine says, I am looking into it. Apologies for slow response. I haven't used Discord in such a long time, but I will love to chat with people. Oh, okay. No worries, no worries. It will be awesome to have you there. Hello, Tank. Welcome in. How are you doing? As you can see, I can't really use Z yet. Z editor yet. I'm using a non-Mac or Linux machine at the moment. But I will try it sometime. You have piqued my curiosity about Z editor for sure. Yeah. We'll We'll be waiting, we'll be waiting. I will link you guys again to the game that I have created. And if you can play it from PC, that would be awesome. I'm gonna send it. Here you go. If you have time, please check it out and share your thoughts about the game. Okay, so Tank, you did? You did? Did you pass all of the levels? Thanks, sis. I did quite like it. Great for only 4 days. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ali says, could you release it on mobile, please? It will be really hard to do it. I mean, I need more people to want to have a full game in order to excuse spending time on it, on creating it. Yeah. So, only if there will be demand for a full game, only then I will create more levels and maybe create a mobile version for it. Otherwise, it's just going to be it. I'm so happy that you like the physics. I have so many ideas for more mechanics for the game. Oh no, I had a mistake here. Whoops. Do you use Plant UML, I wonder? I'm just curious how other people write documentation. Dark Engine creates wikis and creates diagrams, but he draws them manually. Ali says, I understand you're only one person dev, so I'm not mad. Actually, the game that I just sent, it can be played from the web. So if you have a computer and you just need a mouse to play it, you don't even have to install anything. So if you have a computer with a mouse, that will be enough to play. And I just want to say that I was not the only one who worked on the game. Ice Cream did most of the programming, and also we had Hiyoko, who worked on the music. Thank you for supporting me and giving me wishes in game development. Thank you so much. Hello, Kazanli. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. How are you? Hi. Unfortunately, chat doesn't really work for me at the moment. Well. What? Hey. How is it to have people play your game? I wonder, because recently you also worked on a game for the Game Jam, and you also had an awesome accomplishment in a very short time. Isn't it great to have people play your game? It's just really cool and fun. Kizumi says it was a very good experience. That's awesome. I think it's really cool. I think your game was very cool. You took their word scale, like literally. Kizumi says yes, some streamer friends play my game and make high score contest. I was really not expecting that. Oh, that's so nice. That must be so fun. Hello, Quill. Welcome in. How are you? You're welcome. Thank you for playing our game. I'm happy that you got to experience it. Yeah. On yesterday's stream, I explained some stuff about the process. So I don't know if anyone is curious about how the process went for us, because I just didn't stream it. And I'm sitting here a link to yesterday's stream in case you guys are interested in how it went. Ali says, as for me, a pixel artist privately, I have struggled with my creativity. Well, maybe you can draw a character that you like. This can be a good start in practicing your skills. Kizumi says, I was expecting to make this minigame mostly for learning. I wasn't expecting any rating or comment on the gem page. I wasn't expecting other people to be hyped about it, so it's all good. Oh, thank you for liking the concept of our game too. The making process must be so different when you go in a jam as a team comparing to make it solo. Yeah, but also it's so different when you have such a small time frame of just 4 days to make a full game. This is also a very different process because because when you work on things really quickly, then all of your clean code practices, they just go out of the window. Goodbye, best practices. Goodbye. No more. Well, have you ever participated in a game jam? Yes. Exactly. Ali, what do you mean Kirby? I'm not sure what do you mean about Kirby. Okay, I think we have this part covered. Of when the bunny wants to have pets and cuddles. Where is it? Here, request love. No. To be loved by player, you need the player ready to love critter. Yes, very important. Then we have critter ready to be loved by player. Yes, that's also important. And also we need player ingredients. That's also correct. Player ready to love critter. This one. We need it to come from here. It's a starting point. Kez only says I had participated just 1 month after starting streaming and learning Koto. A 48-hour jam as a complete beginner. It was the most hyping thing I've had for years, I think. Oh yes, totally. Because it's just so exciting and nerve-wracking, and it's a roller coaster of emotions. Dark Engine says, apologies, I was trying to figure out my password was on Discord and I forgot. Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you for coming back. Giz only says, I will check your YouTube video. I am curious about how you felt about the jam. Okay, I'm just gonna say, because it was a stream, it's a little bit long, so please don't worry about watching all of it. I put timestamps in the description so you can skip around to things that you prefer to listen to. Don't feel like you have to watch everything. I know it's long. So please don't worry about it. But thank you so much if you will watch some of it. Let me know, what do you think about the experience and everything. I will be really curious about your thoughts. Gloom says, I have participated in a couple of times. Very strange things are achieved, but it's good to finish something from time to time. Yes, I know, right? What did you do in the game jams? Like, what was your role? I'm curious. Were you just the artist, or maybe did you do other stuff as well? Lee is like drinking a lot of coffee during the game jam. Oh yes, to stay awake. Right? Wait, so you finished your game in like 2 days instead of 4? Is that what it is? Oh, it's Monster Energy drink. Okay, sorry. Let's see if now it looks good. Oh, okay, it took 4 days. Okay, so you were talking about your very first game jam that took 48 hours. Yeah. 48 hours is just crazy. Like, you're not going to sleep well enough at all. Okay, this is becoming a mess. Let's see if this changes anything. Is it easier to read? A little bit. What do you think? Which lines are easier to read? This type of lines, the orthogonal lines, or the polylines? What do you think? This is the orthogonal lines, and they will soon change to the polylines. These are the polylines. What do you think is more easy to read? I'm afraid that the orthogonal ones are easier to read. Yes, Kizali, I kind of agree. Ali, I know that you wrote watashi wa and something about doing something must, because like you are going to do something, but I don't understand kanji, so I don't know how to read kanji, so it's a little bit different for me to understand the context of what you're saying. It's like something watashi wa something nemasu. Oh, okay. You said something very basic. You said something like, 私は日本語話せます. Okay. Good job. is only, did you sleep enough in the hackathon? In the game jam, I mean. I kind of slept okay. Well, hello, hello. Thank you for the follow, Brom.
Stand behind, bro.
Is that the right Brom? Great. Well, always as an artist. Also, I'm curious about the games that you have worked on in game jams. If you would like to share them on Discord, then I will check them out later after the stream. Dark Engine, very good. You speak Japanese. I don't really speak Japanese. I mean, I know a couple of words and I kind of know how to read hiragana. But that's all. Brom says, I noticed your Crypto GD tab. That's cool, you're working with Godot. Yeah, I am. But currently, I am working on documentation for the game. This is a tree which will define the behavior of the AI in the game. It looks... I mean, I'm not even close to being done just yet. But this is what it's like so far. And also, I showed the bunnies, like what the AI will look like. So let me share. Here we go. Here are the AI bunnies in the game. Brom, thank you so much for thinking they're adorable. Yay! Brom, are you also creating like games? And are you also... So you use PlentyML for documentation of your own games? Or is it for something else? Ali, I recognize that you wrote something in Dutch or in German, but I don't know what you wrote. I really don't speak not Dutch and not German. Oh wow. Google Translate says that it's not even Dutch. It's Hawaiian? Eh? 本当に? No way. No. Oh, it's German. Okay. Ali, it's really hard for me. Okay. Brom says, I used to create games, but only at the hobby level. I try to make a Metroidvania type of game in Godot. While I was coding, I noticed that I need to learn how to code better. Well. It does happen, but the more you practice, the better you get at all of this stuff. So, I am encouraging you to continue I'm encouraging you to keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Yay. You got it. Okay, where were we? We need to... Oh yeah. Now that it's orthogonal, it's a little bit more confusing. Yay, I'm supporting Brom. I am the support of the support. Woo! Dark Engine says, in my honest opinion, object-oriented design doesn't fit well for most cases. It's the most widely taught paradigm in computer science, but it isn't good for games in my opinion. Games are about transforming data, and the less data you can get away with, the easier. That's an interesting perspective, Dark Engine. I'm not sure whether I agree or not. Because specifically Godot, it uses inheritance a lot. Like everything, all of the objects, all of the object types are kind of inheriting some properties from one another. It's like everything in Godot is called a node or a scene, and then everything is inheriting from everything, kinda. So the engine itself took this whole type of approach on creating the engine. So I don't know. I mean, surely object-oriented is taken for granted all the time. But some game engines are just built that way, where they pretty much force you to use object-oriented as well because of the inheritance part. But there's also the ECS approach, which is definitely like data driven, like you suggested. Okay, so we have 3 preconditions for being loved by player. That makes sense. The player has to be in a radius. Critter should be ready to be loved by player. And player ready to love critter. Okay, so just like we have player ready to love critter, we need to have critter ready to love critter. Player ready to be to love critter. Now we need Critter, ready to love critter. Yes. Critter, ready to love critter. Loved by critter. Loved by critter. Here it is. I'll put it down there so it won't be too confusing. Over here. What are the preconditions for critter ready to love critter? I guess it would be love under 75. Also, another critter should be in radius. Dark Engine says, in my opinion, and please take it with a grain of salt, but I don't think the word works in terms of objects. A duck can't fly because it's a bird. It can fly because it has functional wings, and not all ducks have functional wings, because their wings can be broken. This is data that lets a duck fly, not types, and OP focused so much on types. I mean, I think I agree. I think I agree. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think I understand your point, and I think I agree. But this is a very unexplored territory, I think. And you will have to design your whole game engine all by yourself in order to support this type of logic. I think this is not the type of logic that Godot, for example, supports. I mean, you can pass data, information. I don't know. But it also... Godot is also focused on types. Surely. Quilm says, more than games, now it calls my attention to use game dev tools to make art in general, like animated comics, panels, splash screen, and things like that. It's still a long way to go though. This is a really, really interesting approach, I think. To just use Unity or whatever you're using, if I remember it was Unity, for your own stuff, and then among other artists and artworks that are available, you immediately stand out because they have this extra Unity flair. So that's pretty cool. A pretty cool way to stand out, Chrome. Dark Engine says there is too much rigidity to thinking of what things can do in terms of their types, abstract or concrete. Yeah, I think I get it. I think I understand. I think I agree. I think I need some time to process my thoughts about this. It does make sense though. Brom says, I'm trying to have an object-oriented component over inheritance style of programming in everything I do and most programs I use. I think it's so difficult to keep track of all design patterns, so I just want to be good at one. From you're using Godot, right? But there is a free book out there about design patterns for games. Maybe I can look it up. It's for like game development. I remember it was like completely free. Let's see. Oh yeah, I found it. So the book itself, you can either buy the physical form or you can just, but also the book is available for free online. It's like, it's pretty cool, especially because it's completely free legally. It's legally free. So this is like a nice book to refer to, and also just reading it once and like trying to understand what can work for your game and your future projects. Ali, it's really hard for me to read kanji. I'm not very familiar with kanji. Ali. Ali, I have to use Google Translate to understand what you're writing. Something about Kirby and Alice in Wonderland? Qualm says, more than games, now it calls my attention to you. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Dark Engine says, we don't have to go to the extremes. I figure it's a balancing act. Some things are definitely well suited to objects and types and inheritance. Some things aren't. What I contest about the OO design philosophy is that it's so overarching in terms of objects, and this isn't explored territory. This was the most exploring thing OOP became so popular. Yeah, it's like the meta for game development and for programming in general. Object-oriented programming, it just became like the meta, and it's barely being questioned these days. Like there are some functional programming stuff, but generally OOP is dominating the field for sure. And yeah, maybe this should be challenged. I agree. Brum says, I haven't thought about design patterns for games. I'd love to take a look at it. You should. If your goal is to make games, then please read the book. I mean, those design patterns, they're not just strictly used for games, for sure. You can use them for anything. But these are the ones that you need for game development. Awesome, Chrome. Awesome. I hope it will help you. It's not very artsy, I will admit. It's more of a programming kind of thing. But everyone is welcome to use free knowledge. Dark Engine says functional is my thing. I'm biased that way. I only have my feet slightly dipped still in imperative designs and definitely objects to organize it, but purely for efficiency. I never wrapped my head around functional programming, to be honest. I never bothered to really truly understand it. I remember trying a couple of times. I think it was using Scala, if I remember correct. Does that make sense? But I didn't really create anything super complicated or important. Let's call it functional programming. It was just to give it a try, so I cannot say that I understand it very well. Brom says, today I was like, I'm so tired today. I'm not going to do any programming or programming studying or anything. I'll just relax in the stream of space-continuum. But I do wish I could study, but I just don't feel like it today. And now I am reading the book you recommended without knowing that I am studying. That's the best type of study. Isn't it? Isn't it? When you don't realize you're actually studying. Well, studying is like a muscle that you train. At first, it's really hard to be consistent when you study because you just get tired of studying very quickly. But the more you do it, then you can get to study for longer and longer periods of time. And it gets a little bit easier the more you do it, the more you study consistently. Dark Engine says it can get very recursive, but I think you are largely doing it in your node graphs here. Functional programming would require a lot more arrows linking thanks to some central program state. If you just have nodes that input one thing and output another, that's functional. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Something other than functional programming would require a lot of arrows. Oh, sorry, I butchered my English so bad there. Oh, okay, now I understand. Yeah, I think what got me weirded out is probably the recursive part of functional programming. If I remember correct, if my memory doesn't betray me. I really don't remember very well. Like, it's been a while. But today I don't really have a reason to try functional programming again. That's just how it is at the moment. No problem, Kessonly. Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out around. Thank you. Brom says, I saw component under decoupling pattern section in the book. This is what I want to do, I'm sure. I'm very glad that I have this to read now. That's awesome, that's awesome, yes. Decoupling is so important. If your code is properly decoupled, then it's much easier to remove features and add features without updating the code too much. This is very important to handle. So yeah, I'm happy this is going to be useful for you. Dark Engine says, I like to distinguish dogmatic functional from pragmatic functional. Dogmatic would want to eliminate all possible mutable states, even local variables to a function. So you can't even write a loop without recursively calling functions. The loop is a higher order function that repeatedly calls another function as input. This sounds a lot like how assembly works. But pragmatic functional to me is looser, relaxed. It just says a function can't mess with anything besides its local variables. Yeah, I like the pragmatic functional one. Much easier to handle, I feel like. But it really depends on how efficient you want to go. Ali says, my internet is barbecue too. Electric boogaloo. Oh, Ali, I'm so sorry about your internet not working okay. Oh well. I'm sorry. Hope it will get better soon. Okay, so need to continue defining these parts. So loved by player looks okay. Loved by critter is almost okay because we need critter ready to love critter to be defined properly. We need some actions before that. We need some actions and some states prior. But other than that, this is okay. And now the last one is loved by a friend. Which means we need a friend to be in radius. Let's see if we have anything like this. Player is in radius. Toy is in radius. Critter is in radius. Oh, there we go. Available friend in radius. That's good. Actually, we need all of them. Like at least one. We need at least one. At least one or more. One or more. go. That's a new state. And we will use it for a loved by friend. Loved by friend. Let's see how this one will change then. It should appear somewhere here. There we go. Here it is. Brom says, I really want to make that Metroidvania game, but I am studying programming in C# to try to find a job in web dev. There, I try to use component design pattern too. Wait, Brom, you can use C# for Godot and for Unity. So this is going to be good for you, not just for web development, but also for game development as well. So that's a good thing. C# is probably a really good choice for you. Ram says, I spend so much time learning how to paint and draw, and I really want to use it for a new character in the Metroidvania game. Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I'm also doing multiple things for my own game. Like, I'm doing some programming, I am doing some art, and of course I'm doing the game design. So I totally agree with your approach. Dark Engine says, coupling is the most useful software engineering metric, but it doesn't have to be so complicated and delve into obscure terms like afferent coupling. How much do we have to know when we sit down with a piece of code and work on it? If it's a physics engine, how much are we focusing on physics and how much are we focusing on something other than physics? It's my stupid brain way of looking at it, but if we only think about physics, then the code is what decoupled. I guess you really need to understand physics in order to design an engine that will be properly decoupled, I think. Look at the time. We really need to finish very soon. Okay. Alright. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today on stream. I really enjoyed our conversations about game development and about programming in general. That was really cool of you guys. Yep. So we have the game development, game design podcast on YouTube. So if you're curious about it, let me please link you to it. It's pretty awesome, and we have a couple of episodes out already in all sorts of topics. Yeah, I will link the podcast if you're interested. And of course, if you're interested in joining the podcast and be interviewed, then please let me know. Maybe we can arrange something out. On Friday sometimes we do gaming on Twitch, and then on Saturdays and on Sundays we do streaming about game development. So on Sundays we sometimes go for more artsy stuff, and on Saturdays we do more of the technical stuff, like today. It was a little bit different this time around. So yeah, you can expect us to continue in the same theme on Saturday. Yeah. So yeah, guys. Thank you so much for joining the stream today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys had fun. Alright, so thank you a tons and have a lovely rest of your time zone.